Welcome back, everybody. It is time for game number 2 here in the final quarter, final match. That didn't turn out how I hoped. It's TechnicS versus dRaW. It's going to be on match point for game number 2. Two-player map, which is the site of some pretty legendary games. Stork versus Jaedong in particular. Amazing PvZ. More importantly, this is the site of the game that I always talk about. Whenever dRaW plays a PvZ, I think I bring this up, but I have to because dRaW beat Seiki with a 2-base Arbiter Rush, Recall Rush on this map in ISL 3, the International Star League 3, which was maybe a year ago now, actually. It's been quite a while, but still, that was like my first big memorable game watching dRaW. Before that, I don't think I really knew much about him as a player, but after that, I was like, whoa, this guy's crazy. Unfortunately, he still lost, and he lost the next 2 maps and lost the series anyway, but still a good series. So, yeah, dRaw's up 1-0 in the series, and going on to game 2. Alright, at the bottom left as the red Zerg, we have TechnicS. At the top right as the purple Protoss, we have dRaW. Ooh, in the regal purple. Anyway, so dRaW playing pretty nicely last game. I was actually quite concerned for him actually in the mid game when his +1 Zealots were so easily diverted, and I'm actually quite surprised how kind of easily he seemed to just pull it back, despite facing a lot of pressure on his turret as well early on. He didn't do any really scary drops. He did a couple, but they didn't do catastrophic damage. So it was just really solid macro and solid play all around. I think that just helped hold him through there. And he's sending out the probe now to go make the pylon over here at the front. Let's see how he actually makes the wall here. The wall on match point is a little bit curious. It's actually not as easy as you might think. I thought it was easy, but then all the games we've seen so far in TLS have been a little bit weird. Anyway, we'll see how dRaW does it. dRaw's actually quite good at figuring out walls. So whatever he does, I trust is the correct solution. Or at least a correct solution. Anyway, it looks like Probe Guy is going to poke out. And I'm going to see this Overlord, and the Overlord's actually heading northwards for some reason. I don't know why it's going there. I mean, basically, so the point of, I think, sending the Overlord directly northwards instead of, to the side, this is an Overlord, by the way, instead of directly to dRaw's base, is to see if the probe comes in, because if he doesn't see the probe come in, it almost certainly means there's proxy gates somewhere. Because again, this is a map where you can proxy a lot of places. Some players can proxy gates here, sometimes, they can even proxy inside your main base, like here, or even here. So instead of using a drone to just check around everywhere, he just used a cool little Overlord scouting pattern there, which is actually really smart. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that before. Then again, I haven't seen too many ZVPs, high-level ZVPs on this map recently. Anyway, so dRaw's going to see this, and if I note that TechnicS is actually mining gas, so he's again going to go for fast Zergling speed. And fast Zergling speed, just like he did last game, is often indicative of some shenanigans from the Zerg player, because the speedlings early on, either you go for a big link bust or run by or something, or you just, sometimes if that doesn't work, you can use them to aggressively deny scouts to do a follow-up cheese like a Lurker Drop or Hydra Bust, right? Because if you have speedlings on the map, it is almost impossible for Protoss to scout you until he has a Corsair. So in fact, a lot of times when the Protoss player sees fast speed from the Zerg, they'll send out a really early second probe just to hide somewhere on the map, because if the speedlings get here, no probe is going to leave the base ever again, right? So it's often advisable to actually hide a second probe very early, because the initial probe also is not going to be able to last long against speedlings. But you really need to know what the Zerg is doing, because if you get Hydra busted, you want to know about it. Now, this could be a little bit dangerous, by the way. He's got 2 cannons, though, and you see, last game, he was getting 9 pull speed, or TechnicS was going 9 full speed, and dRaW still only got 1 cannon. But in this game, because the wall is not nearly as efficient, he has to get 2. And the timing on the second cannon, by the way, was absolutely spot on. Just as the Zerglings got there, the second cannon finished. Really, really nice timing. Now, meanwhile, TechnicS is getting a third base here at the mineral only, which is curious. So he's not getting the top left base. I mean, the top left base is probably more common as a third. Well, I don't know. Maybe they're about equal. So unlike ZVT, you know, you don't really get the 6 o'clock base. You either get the mineral only or you get this top left base. Obviously, it's a little bit farther away, but it's a little bit, you know, more resources. And crucially, there's a gas there. Now, you know, I don't know if that means that TechnicS is going to go for a 5-hatch build again. Generally, if you go for 5-hatch Hydra, you want to get a close third rather than a far away third, because, you know, you don't want to spread yourself out too much because you're going to have late overload speed. You're going to be relying on Hydra positioning again to keep yourself safe. So getting a close third is generally good there. And we can see TechnicS still isn't mining gas, so I feel like that could be happening. Yeah, it looks like TechnicS is actually going for the 5-hatch build again. He's gotten his 4th hatch, but he's still not mining gas. He is going 5-hatch Hydra again. I can't believe this. This is not something I would have expected from TechnicS. You know, I mean, among the high-level players, really only Bakryu goes for these kind of things. You know, Bakryu loved his 4-hatch Hydra for a while. I don't think even Bakryu does 4-hatch Hydra anymore. So for TechnicS to go 5-hatch Hydra 2 games in a row is really surprising to me. I don't know if I'm just out of the loop or something, and this is something he's been doing recently. But definitely... Whoa. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's normal. Okay, sorry, that was just a neutral goon. For a second, I thought dRaW was going for some kind of 2-base goon all in, but no, that's actually just to kill or just scare away scouting overlords. Okay. Whew. Because I don't think a Dragoon all in. Well, actually, I don't know. Does a 2-base Dragoon all in work against the 5-hatch Hydra? I'm not sure I've ever seen it. Seen those two builds clash, so I'm not actually sure how the timing would work there. I feel like it probably wouldn't, but I'm not sure. Especially because there's speedlings already, so the Zerg could just like make 5-hatch speedling and win. Anyway, so the lings are wait a minute. Oh, did he cancel speed? I could have sworn he got speed, but these are not speedlings. Okay, now I'm a little bit confused. Oh my, wait, what? No! Is he going 6-hatch no gas? Okay, he's getting harassed at this base. 1 drone kill. That Zel's already worth it, even if it doesn't kill anything else. He's gonna get a second? No way. What? That's a mistake. Should not be allowed to kill 2 drones, ever. And, okay, it looks like TechnicS, he was thinking about getting his hatchery, but now he started mining gas, possibly because he just got... No! TechnicS losing 3 drones. You know what's happened here? dRaW watched DeWalt's games against TechnicS because DeWalt... No! He did not just kill 4 drones with 1 zealot. Tell me that didn't just happen. TechnicS, are you awake? Oh, man. Can somebody just call up TechnicS and make sure he's not sleeping at his keyboard? That should never... He's going Dragoon all in. He is actually doing it. Nah, I can't believe this. Oh, I knew that first Dragoon was fishy. You guys see this? Man, see, from now on, I'm only casting Protoss games. It's like the only time I'm ever correct. God. All right. So dRaW is actually going for good all in, but I cannot believe he killed 4 drones with 1 Zealot. That should not happen. But the funny thing is, that's exactly the sort of thing that happened when TechnicS played against the Walls in the round 16 group. He lost an insane number of drones to Zealots, which he really should not have. And I don't know what is up with it, because I mean, he has amazing Hydra control, so I don't know why he has such poor drone control. This, by the way, has immediately revealed dRaw's build. If Zerg sees 3 Dragoons this early, there's only one thing it can be. It just has to be a Dragoon all-in, so he knows. So this is a 6-gate, +1 Dragoon all-in. They have +1 already. He's actually getting +1 armor. It might finish. Well, I don't know. It's going to be a while before it finishes. I don't know if it'll be useful for this attack, but... oh, man, he's got to be careful. He's going to not just suicide Dragoons like this. He's got to be really, really careful. These Dragoons are very, very squishy against Hydralisks. But this could be good because look at this. TechnicS went for a greedy 4th. So this 2-base all-in could be very effective. But the problem is, this is what I'm talking about. There's already too many Hydras and too many hatcheries. So I don't think this is going to work. I really don't think this works against 5-hatch Hydra. Because Dragoons just cannot stand up to Hydralisks in straight-up engagements. And the 5-hatch Hydra gets Hydralisks actually surprisingly quickly. So it's not even like you're hitting a timing where he doesn't have units. There's not much of timing. However, dRaW is actually doing doing a good job here, and now he has the high ground against the low ground Hydras. But he's still got to be very, very careful here. I think he's doing a good job focus firing, but actually, dRaW is making this work, and he's keeping on top of his Dragoon production here. This could still work, despite everything I'm saying. This could actually still work. It's going to be very close, because look at how many Hydras there are already. I mean, TechnicS just has so many hatcheries already, and such a good economy that he can actually, you know, despite losing 4 drones early on, he can actually make a butt ton of Hydras. But the Dragoons do outrange the Hydras, so dRaW can do a little bit of Dragoon dancing here and there, and we can see that's sort of keeping him in this. But the thing is, if they just keep trading evenly like this, TechnicS should eventually win, I think, because, you know, he has Defender's advantage with a shorter reinforcement route. I mean, he's got a pretty strong economy, and he's got so many larvae to work with. I mean, if he actually had Link speed, he could have just make a whole big wave of Speedlings, and again, Speedlings are very good against Dragoons as well. But I mean, these Hydras I feel like should be very effective as well. You can see, he's just going at it, even though he's fighting uphill. He's just really doing a number on these Dragoons. And, well, it's looking very, very close. I think dRaW might barely hold on yet again here, but no, he is pulling back, regrouping with a few units. By the way, notice that dRaw's every now and then throwing in a random Zealot. And these, by the way, are actually being really helpful, because Zealots actually tank a lot more Hydra shots than Dragoons do because of damage types. They are medium units, I believe. Or maybe even small units, actually, so they don't take... Yeah, they're actually small units, so they don't take full damage from Hydras. They only take 5 damage instead of 10. So they actually tank a lot better, and actually, look at this! Oh my god, dRaw's switching to Zealots! Whoa, dRaw's actually checked up behind this, I can't believe it! dRaw has actually just completely switched techs here, he's going to speedlots instead. And actually, mass 1-1 speedlots against non-upgraded Hydras in low numbers is going to be really effective. He really needs the speed to finish, though. He really wants that speed. Is it finished yet? Oh man, it's like 3 seconds from being done. Oh man, he really wants it. Overlord tanking a few shots for the Hydras. This is so ridiculously close. I still don't actually know who's going to win. Hydras are really strong, but now that dRaw's switching to Zealots, he could be good here. And there's the speed, and now TechnicS realizes what's going on here. He knows speed's there. And the thing is, dRaw has actually made a Templar Archives. He's actually making Templar now. He's completely switched techs here. And oh my god, there's a DT! If that DT gets into the main, that will be huge. TechnicS sees it, but he's got no Overlord speed, and he has no Overlord in the main base. That DT could be a game changer right now. Why is TechnicS not pulling his drones? He needs to evacuate the drones. He is evacuating the drones, but look at this. His Overlord's not even moving back. Is he making an Overlord? He's making an Overlord, but dRaw can kill the eggs, actually. He can kill the larva, and dRaw now killing the greedy 4th hatchery of TechnicS here at the top left here, while another DT just distracts these Hydras, and this DT is still doing work here in the main base, but it looks like dRaw's not targeting the egg, so the Overlord will come out, but dRaw is doing massive damage to TechnicS right now. He now has a significant supply lead, 90 supply against just 50 of TechnicS. This hatchery should go down if dRaw targets it down, but more Zealots are coming in, and he has High Templar as well. This tech switch is done, and actually, oh no, he hasn't killed the pool. I thought he killed the pool. Jesus, but actually a 1-1 DT can 2-shot a Hydra. So he can actually engage there, and there's a Storm as well. It looks like TechnicS did snipe the High Templar, but the Storm did go off. Now that hatchery at the top left has been allowed to live, which may be a mistake since it allows TechnicS to have a few additional larvae coming from that direction. But look at this! dRaw is overwhelming TechnicS, and now he's rampaging the mineral line. GG! Well played! dRaw is now up 2-0 against TechnicS. I cannot believe what I am seeing right here. I thought both Zergs were the favorites today, and yet both non-Zergs have gone up 2-0 in their respective series. This is crazy. I actually cannot describe how crazy this is. TechnicS, I thought, was definitely a favorite here, but he is now on the ropes. He now has to win 3 games in a row. Can he pull it back like Michael almost did? Oh, that would just be too much for my heart. Anyway, we're going to a quick break, and we'll come back for game number 3. It's going to be on Wind and Cloud.